the Big Tigger Morning Show with Francesca on the People Station, the ATL's #1 for hip hop, R&B, and throwbacks. And I am joined by multi-platinum recording artist Montell Jordan and his beautiful wife, Kristin Jordan, in the house. Good morning to you both.
What's up, Francesca?
Come on, can I just say, I didn't know y'all were this tall. My people.
That's right. That's right.
Listen, you have to be tall, right?
Yes.
And your beauty and you're tall. Come on.
Oh my
we in the
gosh,
right
stop.
building.
It's family reunion up in here
Come
right
on, we
now.
see each other.
Listen, I like this.
You all brought a book with you. And, you know, when I think of Montell Jordan, listen, this is how we do. That's how I'm thinking, right?
I love your commitment.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to go all the way.
No, you went
because
just
I
far
don't have
enough,
your
though.
voice.
You went just far enough. That's awesome.
But now this is how you do it with this book, with this
Yeah.
new book coming out September 1st. Tell me what we're looking at here.
Yeah, this is a brainchild and a birthing from my wife. Literally, we've got kids, we got grandkids, and this is something that has been probably close to 16 years in the making. And it's our very first children's book, and it's called Shilo and the Not So Scary Girl Above His Bed. And it's basically the story of a little monster named Shilo who is very, very afraid that there's a little girl who lives above him, above his, on the bed above him. And so it basically takes fear and it flips it on its side, and it helps teach kids how to become courageous. And this is our step into authorship, and just super, super grateful that we get the opportunity to not only have a vantage point of music and of ministry and of marriage, but now we get to step into this place of helping children navigate childhood fears.
Kristin,
Yes, dear.
as a mother of how many?
5 kids.
A mother of 5 children and a grandmother of how many?
5.
Come on.
Come on.
I know you have some stories, and you've dealt with the kids saying, can you check in my closet? I'm scared. There's a boogeyman in there.
Now, here's what's funny is this book is actually birthed from my son.
Really?
When he was 3 years old. And I would put him to bed each night, and he would say, Mommy, I can't stay in here. The monster under my bed won't let me stay in here. And I said, at first I was like, wait, what? And it just like took me back. But each night he would come and sneak into our room, and I was like, okay, wait, we gotta deal with this head on. So when I would put him to bed, I said, how about the monster that's under your bed is afraid of you, and he's scared of you, buddy. And I bet you he wants to be your friend. And he was like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, 100%. Do you know that most of the things that we're scared of are really scared of you?
What?
And it flipped his whole mind upside down. And it's one of the things that the Lord was really dealing with me of like, hey, most of the things that we're scared of are really scared of us.
Yeah, and adults now, and when we deal with marriages and people that are navigating therapy, all types of things like that, a lot of the things that they're afraid of or fearful of, those are things that started because it wasn't handled in childhood.
Really?
Yeah,
That is correct.
for sure.
So you're telling me this book, Shilo and the Not So Scary Girl Above His Bed, could really be for every age, including folks who are like me and you, because we all have feelings and emotions, right?
Absolutely. And the truth is that what are the things that we were afraid of when we were kids, whether it was the dark or am I going to make friends at school? Am I afraid of the doctor? What are those things? And if we don't address those and deal with those and figure out like, wait a minute, this isn't as scary as we think it is. And as parents, we want to teach our kids that, right? But if we don't, it turns into something else.
I think unattended fear, right? It becomes adulthood trauma,
Yeah.
and
That's
so
right.
from
Anxiety.
that standpoint, we have couples,
Oppression,
married couples
depression.
that are, I don't know if I should stay, or I'm afraid to leave. I don't know.
Afraid to commit.
All these different
Yes.
things, and they all come from childhood. And so we're trying to help our children, next generation, have an opportunity to, along with their parents and grandparents, be able to dive in to someone who is not brave, right? But he's learning how to be brave by doing it afraid. And so I would say that to anybody listening today in the world of V103, do it afraid. Sometimes you just got to do it afraid.
I love that. Do it afraid. And a lot of our listeners, they're either married or they're not married, but we love to talk about relationships on this show. You all have been married since 1994.
Yeah.
That is correct.
That's 32
32.
years.
But in music business years, that's like 176.
Correct.
It's like dog years, right?
Unheard of. What has been the key to that what's been the secret sauce to a successful marriage? Because all that glitters is not gold. We understand that. And some people say there is no such thing as relationship goals, but I definitely think that every single relationship has its highs and lows. And how do you think you all have managed to, weather the storm through yours?
Yeah. You want to go first?
Make sure you're asking the right questions.
Yeah.
When you know you're marrying the right one, you only have one question from there on out. How do we get through this? Not, did I marry the right one? None of that. How do we get through this?
Yeah, and I think for me, I would say, one, we keep God at the center of our marriage. That is always the foundation. So it's not just me and her. It's me, her, and God. So I can't make just decisions without consulting him. And then ultimately, we also, we have this thing where we are always constantly trying to outserve each other. We have never, ever seen a couple not be able to succeed when both the husband and the wife were committed to trying to outserve each other. And so my wife is not going to outserve me. It's just not going to happen. It won't happen when it comes to giving, when it comes to being fly, when it comes to doing all the different things that we're trying to do to outserve, our spouse. When you have two people that are committed to doing that, that's a recipe for a fantastic marriage.
My gosh.
You can have takers in marriage, right? Like you have somebody that's giving and then somebody's just consuming. And you have somebody that's really giving, and that's not going to, that won't work. You literally have to have two people that are going in saying, I'm looking for happily forever after. I'm looking for no exit strategy. I want an eternal strategy. And if we in this thing for eternity, let's make it the best eternity possible.
That's it.
I think I have the theme for you guys' second book. I mean, the name of it is How Do We Get Through This? Okay? I already know, and that's the root of it right there. She's not going to win. That's the one thing you want to compete about is she's not going to outserve me. I'm not going to outserve him.
That's it.
Wow. When it comes to parents who are in the car right now and they hear about this book for themselves or for their children, how can they reach out to you all and get the book? Where can you get it from?
You can get it anywhere books are sold. You can go to Amazon. You can go to Books A Million. You can go to
Barnes and Nobles. Any place that a book is sold, we're going to be there. The airport, we're going to be all over. But ultimately, we like for people, if they go to Amazon, it's cool because they can order more than one book, maybe for a Sunday school class or for their school or
ShiloTheBrave.com.
Their church or ShiloTheBrave.com. Yeah.
As parents, you all have seen a lot, but I know that you've grown even wiser as grandparents. Can you take me on that journey of what that has been, how rewarding that has been, or maybe how tough? I know you probably got to babysit a lot of something.
Actually, it is our great joy and delight. Our grandchildren are the absolute pinnacle of success. That's to me, when you get to see their joy and their delight. They come over every Tuesday for Taco Tuesday, and they run in and, Mimi, Big Papa.
Yeah.
And they just can't get enough of us.
Because we are too young to be grandma and grandpa,
We don't
or
play
too
that.
fly to be grandma and grandpa. So she's Mimi, I'm Big Papa, and our kids, our grandkids, we love
Hanging out with
It's
them.
one of the
Oh,
greatest
man.
joys of our lives to be able to, it's legacy, man. I think ultimately when you get to a space of what's really not counterfeit life, and especially from the business that we're from that tells you having this in your bank account or driving this car or this, that, we holding our grandkids and, watching Miss
Snuggled up,
Rachel,
cuddled
all
up.
that. That's
Yeah.
like, man, that's the real wealth. You can have riches and not be wealthy.
Yep.
And we are wealthy, and I love that because we have something that's intangibly valuable in the legacy of our kids and grandkids.
And that makes us rich.
I really enjoy it when I hear artists talking about how they're releasing worldly things because they have evolved. It's this level of self-actualization is what I call it, where they are so much more in tune with themselves and their community and their family, and that's where the riches lie. At what point in your career did that happen for you? Was there an aha moment, and did your wife have something to do with that? When was it where you said, no, this is about my family and me and who I am and what I give to the world instead of, the cars or the houses, if that was even you beforehand?
Yeah, I don't think it was like one moment, but probably a series of moments that led to a culmination of just living life in counterfeit spaces. And what I mean counterfeit spaces is that most people don't recognize that counterfeit money will spend. All right, counterfeit. If you can't recognize counterfeit money, it'll spend. And a lot of Hollywood, a lot of the music business is built on counterfeit fame,
Wow.
counterfeit influence, counterfeit material possessions, all counterfeit. And from that standpoint, I think that anybody that deals with real money, they understand that when you handle real money for great lengths of time, it's because you have the real thing in your hand so often you can recognize something when it's fake. And so we started to get a taste, one, through our relationship with the Lord of what is actually real, and then we could start to determine, okay, I know this is real. I know our love is real. I know our marriage is real. I know our kids are real. I know that this thing right here doesn't seem like it's as real as these things. And so when you realize I don't want to be living a counterfeit lifestyle, then you start going for what's real. And it will cost you, to attain the things that are real, but it will cost you less than figuring out that what you've been spending in counterfeit money, at some point you have to recall all of that, and it's all going to be taken, and and in some ways you'll find that there's no value to it at all.
My word.
Yeah. We had so many successes and so many things that in the world would call successful. And the crazy thing is that the more markers or the places where you would say, oh, when I do this, I'm going to be successful. When I do this, I'm going to be successful. You reach those markers and then you realize
it doesn't
it's
satisfy.
void. There's no satisfying. And then you make a new marker and you meet that marker and it's like, man, no matter how many records we sell, no matter how many places we go, no matter how many people we meet, it does not fill that void that only God can fill.
Yeah. And that's where you determine, yes, success is okay, but I would rather be significant.
Yeah.
And when you make that transition from success to significance, that's where you really start to be living in the truth of who God created you to be, of how he sustains the things that are around you with greater value than what the world places on something. And that's the place that we find is the safest place to be. Yeah.
We see a lot on social media, especially with our younger artists. Where do you think they're going wrong, or where do you think they're getting it wrong?
I think they don't have mentorship. I think that they don't have accountability. And I think it's a system. I didn't have mentorship or accountability. So there's this pervading system that comes with fame, that comes with record sales, that comes with accolades, that comes with influence, that comes with streams, that comes with all of that. And what it doesn't come with is a guidebook for someone to be able to say, hey, before you go out and buy that, let's look at some real estate over here. Or before you go out and make this purchase, because you can, they think there's this endless stream of you will always be famous, you'll always have money, this or that, and you can go historically and look at every artist. There are a handful of people who have been able to flip that thing over into lifetime wealth. And so I think that where artists are making the mistake right now is they are probably investing or spending more time on building themselves than investing in the legacy that themselves can offer to the world. We were artists, and I'm not that old dude that's like, oh, back in my day. Not that guy. The guy that I am, though, is today people are more invested in songs, and in my time period, they were more invested in artistry. Like, I would buy a Sade record just because it was Sade, or I would buy Hall & Oates record just because it was Hall & Oates. Hall & Oates didn't have to have a single on the radio for me to support Hall & Oates. Because I supported them as a group. And so I think if people recognize in their artistry today that people want them or want to see them for their artistry as opposed to because they got a hit song, because hit songs come and go. I know, because I've had them.
Mic drop.
We're 33 years in, 32, 33 years in. And I recognize it's a great song. It's a great calling card. But a lot of people from my time are not touring. They're not able to go out and make a living with what they did back then. And so I'm very fortunate to be able to
Very much so.
to evolve and now be authoring, and we ministered and married. Like, you gotta reinvent yourself.
Yeah, reinvention. You had Shake Heaven back in 2011, your first gospel album?
I wouldn't even call it a gospel album. It was, but it was the first album that I did outside of the R&B space that I was known for. I was a worship pastor at a church in Atlanta, and that was the expression that we wanted for that house for that time period. And even that album, Shake Heaven, was super, super dope. And it was, to me, ahead of its time because
Very
the
much.
church at that time was kind of like, I don't know, this is kind of,
is
you know,
edgy.
the
Real
beats
edgy.
and this or that. And eventually, I think it was Hillsong United came along, and they were doing these dance EDM type of songs or whatever. And then everybody's on that. I was like, yeah, we did that like 3 years ago, but it's okay.
Well, I've been doing some brainstorming, and I said, okay, I have an idea. All right.
We're with it. Let's go.
Bring it.
Okay, it's not necessarily gospel, but it adds that spiritual flavor in there.
Okay.
It goes, "This is how God does it." No.
That's it. I see.
Well, you like that, Kristin?
Listen, we're with it.
Yeah?
We're with you.
No, we are not.
This is how God does it. Doom, 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 doom.
This is
Montell.
how God does it.
La, 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 la. I can see it.
You can see it.
Yep, I'll have my people call your
love it.
people.
All right.
But when will we ever get kind of one of those albums again?
That's a great question. I'm working on a lot of different things now. I'm working on a Christmas project.
You have a top 15. Let's talk about that.
I was going to say,
Okay.
Kristin,
Oh,
come
just a
on.
second.
He too humble for me.
Hey, listen, God chose me.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a song on the radio right now
With
called
Kim
"You
Burrell.
Chose Me," featuring Kim Burrell and Renee Spearman, and it's currently almost within the top 10 right now on the gospel charts. And
Yeah.
so that's the latest. You chose me, and
chose
today's Kim Burrell's birthday too. So
Shout out to Kim Burrell.
Kim Burrell. If this, I
Our
don't know when this
girl.
is going to air, but today is her birthday that we're here today.
I want you all to take me to the moment that you showed us on social media, the cancer journey. We are so glad that you are now cancer-free.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We are so glad that you are now cancer-free. What is that journey like for you to now be sitting in front of us instead of being somewhere else?
Yeah, that has been probably the toughest journey of our lives.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure.
And we've been through some things.
Yeah.
And so I can say that early detection helps save lives.
Saved his life.
I'm an advocate for early detection and for screenings.
This is prostate cancer.
This
just
is
so
for
we're clear.
prostate cancer. Yeah, I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. I was diagnosed in January of 2024. I had radical prostatectomy surgery in November of 2024. And then about 9 months later, in 2025, some cancer reemerged in my prostate bed and in my left lymph node. So I had to do radiation proton therapy, which was 7.5 weeks, 37 treatments every single day, going in for these very targeted treatments.
Shout out to Emory.
Shout out to Emory here in Atlanta that put in that work. My team was
man.
amazing.
Incredible.
And then on a Christmas Day
Christmas
of
Day.
2025, that was when I got my
greatest
call
gift.
from Dr. Anish Jani telling me that I am PSA 0.01, which is undetected. PSA is prostate-specific antigen level. For men out there that don't understand what a PSA is, when I say you need to have regular checkups and screenings, a prostate check now with the advancement of medicine is a blood test.
That is it.
People have this stigma about, I'm not going, nobody put their finger in me, I'm not doing this, or the other. It is a blood test.
That's it.
But they won't give it to you
Unless
you ask for it. So if you
Whoa.
go for a regular physical today and you don't say, I want a PSA check, even though they take your blood, they will not run that check for you. And so I found out early, it was early detected for me because I had been getting
Regular
PSA screenings from the time I was about 42 years young. And so I had a history of being able to look and see what my PSA levels were from a decade prior to it spiking by the time I get to 52 years old. So, yeah, early detection helps save lives.
Yeah.
One in every 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in every 6 will look like me. And so from that standpoint, it is super, super important to make sure that we are taking care of our bodies, that we are aware of what's happening in our bodies. And I'll just say this, I'm kind of staying on here a little bit because I'm around guys all the time that are just like, oh, I go, it take me a little longer to pee, or, it's a little more difficult. Listen, when it comes to your parts of your body that were one way that now don't feel the same, those are indicators that something
It's not right.
is not right. And I can say here, I never felt like I had cancer. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor, and never once did I ever feel like, I feel like I got cancer. And that's the deception of the disease, that it masks and hides itself into a space of where just because you don't feel something,
Doesn't mean it's not there.
some people don't go to the dentist until they get a cavity
Right.
and the teeth
Or
falling
need a
out of
root
their
canal.
mouth.
There we go.
Just go for cleanings. Go for regular.
And then you won't
regular-
have any of that.
Wow.
Yeah. So to my brothers out there, get yourself checked. And to my ladies out there, if you have a husband, a father, a son, a brother, a cousin, a nephew, a pastor, a man in your life that you love, that is reaching that space within the 40s,
40s and 50s.
40s and 50s, or
Ask
even
them.
earlier if people have a history of some medical things in their family, please just go and get yourself checked. It's a simple blood test.
Yep. And it's important. Your legacy matters. And without the men in our lives, that would mean legacy is forfeited. And why forfeit what you can have? We have enough things coming for our culture, right? So we don't need to add our ignorance and lack of just asking for a simple blood test to change the course of history, because our legacy and our strength is in the men that we love so very much. And so don't forfeit that. And don't take no for an answer, ladies.
And Francesca, my wife is a G, all right, because she becomes the G for giver. She becomes a caregiver. The moment I get diagnosed with cancer, she immediately becomes this caregiver for me. And, I think that is something that some people want to hide their medical. They don't want to talk about it, this or that. We're telling our story just from the standpoint of it's super important to know that you can do hard things. You cannot do hard things alone.
Don't do it alone. You don't have to. And so the thing is that we're better together. And so let that dream work and that teamwork, let it come to pass. And so for me, it was my honor.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I'm so glad that we get to be on the other side of it, to basically share with people so that they don't have to experience the calamity of it.
Yes.
The reason why 1 in 6 of us, and we're more likely to die from it, is because we don't get checked.
Right.
And the truth is that all it takes is to get that simple blood test.
99% treatable when caught early.
Yeah.
99%.
99 prostate cancer is 99% treatable when caught early.
Do you know when most men of color find out?
No.
That they're stage 4. Why? Because they didn't get a regular check.
Too
They don't
late.
trust doctors, or don't go to the doctor, or
Yeah.
don't want to know, they say. But you want to know.
I think it is so beautiful to see how you supported Montell throughout this time, mentally, physically, spiritually. And I'm sure there are so many other ways that I don't even know of. But I think that right there is what I see when I think about a 32-year marriage. That's what I think about. I don't think about the kissing and the holding hands. It's the holding down.
Yeah.
It's the
I
good,
like that.
the bad, the ugly, the great, and the hard. It's all of it.
Yeah. And I'll even say this, because it's not just the ups and it's the prayer that we are able to do together. Like, because you are a woman of God that goes before the Lord, we had things restored that a lot of people don't get an opportunity to maybe have, in this journey. And so from that standpoint, I thank you that
God could do anything.
Oh,
He
wow.
restored our intimacy. He restored his continence. Like all the things, all the warning things that they said, because he got it caught earlier, and because we trust in a faithful God,
Yeah.
it was restored.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're grateful.
Before I let you all go, I have a few more, but again, I know that our listeners love to talk about and hear about successful relationships. Where do you think a lot of people are getting it wrong in their relationship? Where are you seeing things end and you're like, that could have been dealt with differently? Where are we messing up in our community?
The two places I think immediately come to mind are just not being honest that there's something wrong in a relationship. Like, we have people that we walk closely with that when things aren't right, they just hide it or they don't say anything. And
Pretend
then
like it's not there.
time goes by and then you're like, hey, how y'all doing? It's just terrible. This or that. It's like, what do you mean it's terrible? Like, we've been together. We pray every single Friday. We've been spending time. We've been this or that. And you're going to tell me this has been going on for 2 years or 3 years? What is that? And so I think there's this shame that people feel like, I don't want to tell anybody
Or ask for help.
right? And then when it fails, then it becomes public and you can't hide it anymore.
I mean, we actually run a retreat center here in Atlanta, where we allow public marriages to heal in private.
Yeah.
And we basically coach people through this so that we don't end up on tabloids. There are so many people that are still intact. And that's because we're able to deal with it in a private place and curate safe spaces for people to heal.
Yeah, the place should be bursting at the seams, but people, they just don't until it's too late. When they figure out it's too late. And I think the second thing I was going to say is that a lot of couples are in a space of trying to figure out how to change the other person. And so I want them to change this behavior. I want them to be more like this. I want them to do this. Why don't they do this? As opposed to, listen, anybody can do external change temporarily, but heart change comes from God. And so from that standpoint, when I have the posture of, okay, what do I need to change in me? How can I love better? How can I treat better? How can I do what I need to do so that whether my spouse changes or not, when I change, everything has to change around me. And from that standpoint,
Mirror
I think
time.
Those are the
Do
things.
y'all have a love book that's coming out or some type of relationship?
We
and
do.
coaching?
That'll
We
be
do.
next year.
It's actually, I think, September of 2027. We
That's
have a
correct.
book
We'll be back.
called This Is How We Do Marriage. This is How We Do Marriage, Stories, Secrets, and Strategies for a Successful Relationship.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I could feel it. I said, y'all were so aligned in how you thought about things, your communication, your excitement for people to succeed in love, that there has to be a book.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of
Absolutely.
both of you.
Thank you
you.
so much.
This or that, before we get out of here.
All right.
All right. Montell Jordan or Michael Jordan?
Montell Jordan, 1,000%.
What about you, Montell?
I'll go with Montell Jordan. He all right. And I know Michael Jordan from back
He
in
aight
the day.
too.
He all right.
He's cool.
Montell Jordan or Montell Williams?
Montell Jordan,
Montell Jordan.
1,000%.
And I know Montell Williams, too, who's another good guy.
Another good guy.
Nutty Professor or Fighting Temptations?
Fighting
Fighting
Temptations.
Temptations.
Fighting Temptations.
Yeah.
This Is How We Do It or Get It On Tonight?
This is how we do it.
I'm going to get it on tonight, guy. That's a bop.
Get It On Tonight?
That's a bop. Right
What?
there.
Versus This Is How We Do It?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is how you did it, so I'm going to leave it alone.
It's all good. It's all good.
And finally, we were talking about old school versus new school. Who impresses you the most? And what do you think the biggest difference is between old school and new school?
Old school and new school. Once again, I would just say old school was more about artistry. I think new school is more about having songs. And to me, all of my kids, we listening to the Four Tops. I got them listening to the Spinners. You know, they are, and I love when I put on those older songs
And
that
they
they're
know them
singing
all.
along word for word. Now my 14-year-old daughter is into my yacht rock. I'm into a yacht rock phase.
Yacht
Good.
Rock. You
This
know, they
autumn.
were just here. No, they're coming. Yacht Rock was either just here last weekend or they're coming. Yacht
So
Rock.
good.
They didn't come here without me. I'm gonna tell you that. I don't know how that's even possible. They will have to bring that yacht back up in here. I am so into that. Just the love of that sound of music and everything. And so my kids are now, we all in the go, what a fool believe. All this so dope to hear a 14-year-old girl singing
Steal
Michael
away.
McDonald.
Come on. Is there anyone that impresses you from new school?
Yeah, I like her. I don't even know if she's considered new school anymore, but I like her.
I
a
like her
lot.
artistry.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the multi-talented, faceted musicianship.
all of that.
I love that.
Yeah. And could you see yourself working with anybody or collabing with any of them?
I think anybody that would, there are a lot of young artists who are aspiring, who are coming up doing their thing.
I like
And so,
Giveon too.
yeah, I like it. If they want to put Unc on a song, because Unc can still bring it.
Come on,
you know
Uncle.
what I mean? I still got what I got, and I
You
add
got it all,
value
baby.
to music or whatever. So a lot of times there are hip hop artists or whatever who will come to me and say, "Hey, will you get on this hook, or can we do this song together?" So I think you'll see some collaboration. If Charlie Wilson could be as far along in his life and career of still being on relevant songs, I feel like
got this.
I'm behind him by
Several years.
but still, I like to be able to be a contributing voice to new music.
You all have so much wisdom to share. Thank you so much for this book that is out now. Shilo and the Not So Scary Girl Above His Bed.
Absolutely.
Out September 1st.
That's
That's
right.
it.
That's right.
Anything else you want to share with our lovely listeners before you guys head out?
Subscribe to all our channels. Shilo the Brave.
Yep, Shilo the Brave or Montell and Kristin, Montell Jordan on IG, all of that. You are so Thelma. I know you've had to hear that before.
Thelma?
Thelma from
Talk
Good
to me.
Times.
No.
Yes.
Yes, she was our favorite.
I'm
though.
sitting here and this entire interview, and I'm like, what is this? Whatever. Thelma.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will take that. I've never
Yeah.
gotten that before.
We will take a picture and then we will sidebar those things together, and I promise you, you will see yourself and you will say, "Oh,
She's an incredible woman too.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. Well, it is an honor. Thank you. I will take that. I am so Thelma.
yeah." So Thelma. Yeah. And when you get the shirt that says "So Thelma"
Yes.
on it, I don't even want no publishing from it. You can just
Okay.
tell them. You can just put the little "So Thelma" and then put a little
Montell Jordan.
Just
Montell
MJ.
Jordan on the bottom. Yep.
Montell Jordan, Kristin Jordan, thank you so much for coming to the Big Tigger Morning Show with Francesca. It was a pleasure. Congratulations on your newly released book, and we'll definitely be reading.
Thank
I
you
look
so
forward
much.
to
We
it.
It's the
Thank
Big
you.
Tigger Morning Show on B103.
It was good, y'all. It's your man, Montell Jordan. We celebrating the 50-year anniversary of V103. Welcome to the Half a Hundred Club, V103. You finally made it. And listen, you know we go way, way back. I remember when I first got out to ATL because I grew up in South Central Los Angeles, California. When my song came out in 1995, I was not privy to understanding how big my musical contributions were a part of the Freaknik thing that was happening here in Atlanta. And so when I finally got out here, I realized that I was a part of Atlanta culture before I had even gotten out here. And then performances for V103, concerts and things like that just became, we had a great collaborative period of time where we were able to work together because my music and because of your platform that allowed us to do some great things together. So as you are celebrating your 50 years, I honor you and just say, hey, this is the People Station, V103.
Seasoned professional. Oh, because we do, yeah. Oh, we have a golf
Yes.
show.
Larry Tinsley?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yay.
that's my guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
No. How would Larry do it? 'Cause, you know, we don't do that
This is
tag.
Montell Jordan, and you're listening to Sunday Morning Praise on the People Station.
All right.
We're going to do one when you're listening to early morning praise on the People Station E103.
Sunday morning praise, early morning praise. Got you. I got you.
Okay, because no, when you said it, I'm like, I know Larry
Early
said.
morning, Sunday morning.
Larry doesn't say hip hop, R&B, and throwback.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
100%.
Yeah.
He ain't hip hop, R&B.
Yeah.
That's on the people that you do.
So Sunday morning praise. Okay, here we go. Here we go. What's up, y'all? This is your man Montell Jordan. Right now, you got it locked on to my guy Larry Tinsley with early morning praise right here on V103. Sunday morning praise. Hey, what's up, y'all? You're listening to my guy Larry Tinsley right here on early morning praise V103. One more time.
I think it was supposed to be Sunday morning praise.
Sunday morning praise.
Okay. I got you. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. This is your man, Montell Jordan. So glad you got it locked onto my guy, Larry Tinsley, right here, Sunday Morning Praise, V103.
On the People Station E103.
You can actually just say that one line.
That's it.
On the People Station, V103.
That's it.
Perfection.
So much.
So I'm going to